Hi, my name is Bill R. I'm a recovering addict, and this is Inside Addiction.
So, Bill, tell me a little bit about how it was growing up for you.
Well, I came from a very dysfunctional family. My father was an alcoholic. From the time I was 4, I can only remember getting physically beat on a daily basis. And the smell of alcohol and anger, and being told I was no good and never will be any good. And, he wasn't there as a father. He sometimes left for weeks at a time. I had 5 brothers and 6 brothers, younger than me at the time. And it was a pretty sad situation. My mother really couldn't handle anything, and he would come home. When he was home, he would work sometimes, and then other times he wouldn't. But usually he came home drunk, and he beat my mother unmercifully and called her all kinds of names. Then he would call me in and tell me things like, "That's the way you treat your woman. Women are no good. They'll never be any good, and that's the way you should live. And if you want to be a man in this world, you don't cry." And I kind of, that wasn't who I was, but I picked up on it because he was my father. And I started looking up to him as my role model. And nobody else seemed to be complaining about his behaviors. And my mother stuck up for him all the time and said what a good man he was because he worked. And it all made sense to me in the sense of, like he must be all right then, and those behaviors must be okay. So I bought into the whole concept. And my brothers got beat on a regular basis. It didn't seem like anything I could do was right. He soon named me the handshaker, said that I was good at buffaloing people and manipulating them, and that I would be a con man for the rest of my life. And that wasn't very good either, he said, because he just didn't like who I was. I don't think he liked who he was. But basically my childhood was very sad and lonesome, and I lived in a lot of fear. I was in fear of my life every day. I remember one time when I needed shoes desperately, and I didn't have any. It was in the middle of winter, and he hadn't been home for a while. So the guy down the street lent me a pair of his son's sneakers. And when my father came home, he was supposed to pay my father for the sneakers or give them back, and then my father was supposed to buy me shoes. But anyways, none of that happened. So I continued to wear the sneakers until they got holes in them. And the child's father got really upset, wanted the sneakers back. And I think I was in the 3rd or 4th grade at the time. He came to the school in the middle of winter into the room in front of the whole classroom and took the sneakers off my feet. And I got to tell you, I was so embarrassed, so angry and hurt. I ran home. It was the middle of winter. I ran home with no shoes on. I remember crying in my room for hours. That was one of the most humiliating things that I had ever, to this day, the feelings, humiliation and shame. And then I got picked on in school by the kids. My father's name was soon passed around the school as the neighborhood drunk, and kids picked on me, the older kids, and I started fighting, and I was really looking for a way out. I was trying to find myself, but I kept getting into trouble, and anything I did got me in trouble. I was so angry with the whole world. I just, if you said my name wrong, I'd punch you in the face. Like I got a reputation as being a tough kid, one no good. Back in those days, if a kid went to school and acted out, he was considered a bad kid. There was something wrong with him. And that's what the teachers thought. they didn't ask me, like, what's going on at home, is your father, what kind of family life are you having? They never asked me those questions. They only determined that I was a bad kid because I acted out a lot. And it was pretty serious stuff. I really felt alone, and I was really angry. And I tried to help my mother, and he would come home drunk, and I would hide under the bed. And if I stepped out to say something, he'd knock me around. I mean, not just knock me around, he'd punch me with his fist. And knocked a couple of teeth out a couple of times. And I went to school one time, and I told them, they wanted to know what happened to me, and I told them, and they went and talked to my father, and he denied it, and they believed them. So, again, I got real angry, and I felt lonely, and I was looking for a place to escape.
Just tell me about the first time that you used, the first time you picked up.
Okay. The first time I picked up, as again, I was looking for an escape. First time I picked up was when I was 9 years old. I was hanging around with some older kids. My father was now in prison,